Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Real Country Jukebox Podcast with Raymond and myself. I'm James. Today we've got another album review. We hope y'all enjoyed the one last week with William Michael Morgan. Today we're doing Cody Jinks, Change the Game. It's been out a few weeks. A phenomenal songwriter Cody Jinks is. If you like Cody Jinks, I don't see how you couldn't like this album. If you like this style of country music, I don't know how you couldn't like this album. But he's not doing everything else everybody else is doing, and it's just good. He's one of the best songwriters there is. I don't want to say in Nashville because I don't think he's going to hang out there that much. He's one of the best songwriters that puts a pen to paper, and I think we'll talk about that a little bit here, and we'll talk about these tracks.
Yep. I'm gonna start it off with "Change the Game." That's the title track. That's also a song up there that I really like. I've heard him do that in concert 2 or 3 times last year. And one thing I want to mention though, not necessarily on every single song, but one thing that I noticed that was different with this Cody Jinks album is he got kind of philosophical, like almost like an Eric Church writing style, but like with Whiskey Myers' music kind of. It was almost like Cody Jinks, Whiskey Myers, and Eric Church all like put in a blender. And there's a couple songs in here that'll explain what I'm referring to when I get there.
Do you generally like that, like the philosophical type stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Good.
Yeah, I do. Which I know that his and Whiskey Myers' music's always kind of remind me of each other anyway. They're kind of from the same area, but I don't know if going on going on tour with Eric Church may have influenced some of that or not.
I was just thinking about that.
But if he wrote this stuff beforehand, then great. But there's a couple lyrics in here, and I wrote them down, that really reminds me of some Eric Church stuff.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, Change the Game, title track. It's just about doing it your own way. He was very clear that that's what he's done, and I really like that. And a part of me says like, all of your fans know that you did it your own way, and the people that are not fans of you, for that reason that they went the way that people told them to do and you did your own, they know you did it your own way too. But it seems like all those outlaw style guys, Hank Jr., all those guys have a song where they at least reference doing what they want. So that's why I don't mind it, and I actually thought the song was very good. It's just about doing it your own way, and I believe that another note that I had there is sometimes people are jealous of you, even if it's not necessarily, if they don't like the way you're doing it, they still wish that it was them, because they know that no matter what, they're going to do what the man says, period.
Yeah.
And, and it's like, I really wished I was making the kind of music I want to make, but because this guy says that I'll get this paycheck, I'll just do what he wants me to do.
Yeah.
Where Cody Jinks mentioned several times about, getting black eyes and scars and still, fighting through and doing things his own way. And, how he wished he was still playing bars, but instead here I am on stage because of doing it his own way. And I respect that, and I think that's a great song. And when I heard it in concert, Cody Jinks, he has a way of making like slower country music style, but he's also got a heavy metal / rock influence. So he liable to be playing a very slow song and then go right into something heavy. And in the concert, this song sounded pretty heavy, but on the album it doesn't. It's just upbeat. But
Did something different in the studio that he didn't do in the live show, maybe?
Either that, or maybe he just followed it by something that was really slow, and that could have been the case. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but anyway, I love the song. I think it was very good, and I think it was a great title track for the cover.
That's the very first song on the album too, right? Or is it not?
I can't remember.
I couldn't remember. I should remember the track listing better.
The album cover is pretty cool though.
That is a cool album cover.
Yeah,
that's different.
So too, yeah.
And there's a big difference. You can so tell the difference in artists who are just doing whatever it takes to make money and playing the game versus the ones who are, doing it the way he's doing it. And a lot of others now are doing that way too.
Yeah, that's right. Because I find myself a lot of times saying that, not Cody Jinks, I just love Cody Jinks, but some of these new guys, it's like I don't like their vocals, don't like their style, don't necessarily like their lyrics or their music. But the fact that you can just tell that they're doing exactly what they want to do, I have that much respect for it.
Yeah, it's got to get to a point where how many people are going to do this?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Because that, and that's the thing with that too is a lot of the music, if it does all sound the same, then you either like it or hate it. But everyone agrees, even if you love it, that it all sounds alike.
Yeah.
Where the other people that are doing what they want, like change the game style, you either like it or hate it, but you always kind of respect it.
Yeah.
So
you need some authenticity.
Yeah, that's right.
The first track I'm going to talk about is Outlaws and Mustangs, and it actually kind of parallels the song he was just talking about. But because to me, when I say these things, I'm saying what I get from listening to the lyrics. To me, Outlaws and Mustangs is a song about independence, kind of like he was mentioning with the other song, Change the Game, doing things your own way and going out into the world and making mistakes. Because if you don't go out and go your own way and make your own mistakes, there's nothing to learn from. And it helps you find yourself. And I like the Outlaws and Mustangs because he basically says outlaws and Mustangs are wise enough to find their way back home. So you go out, you make your own mistakes, you learn from it. There's no better lesson learned than the ones you learn in real life. And wise enough to find your way home. That's why it's kind of, there's one line in there where he's kind of saying something along the lines of, I'm not scared for you to go out, I'm not nervous for you to go out, I'm not worried about losing you or whatnot, or because I know you're going to find your way home because you're smart. So it's a good song.
Yeah, that's right. I actually got that one on my list too. And I agree with you 100%. There's one line in there that I wrote down because I really like it, and it's kind of got that Eric Church it's like a mythical thing about it. But it's come all you misfit dollars and prodigal sons, you don't have to apologize for your exploring mind.
I remember that line.
Mind. Yeah, and I think that's awesome, man, because a lot of times there's people that they know that they don't have what it takes to go do something themselves, such as see the world, see the country, whatever. So they'll try to convince you that you don't need to do it because it's not a good idea. You'll lose this, you'll miss out on that. But it's because they know that they'll never leave themselves. And I know because I've been in those shoes.
Yeah.
So that's why I love that song.
Speaking from first-hand experience.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, no, it's like, go on out there and see what it's about. And if it only lasts a weekend, fine. If it lasts forever, fine.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
I Can't Complain is the next one I'll bring up. And again, I'm just trying to pick out what I'm getting from this. Some of the lyrics, and a lot of good artists do this, some of the lyrics, you have to hear something. And I haven't heard this 10 or 12 times, but you have to hear something 10 or 12 times. We talked about Eric Church being that way. Hear something 10 or 12 times to really get the full meaning of what they're trying to say. But what I get out of Can't Complain is basically what I get is, in this particular instance, is a relationship going wrong. Maybe you want me to be something I'm not. So that's just what I get out of it. There's probably several things you can take. If it's not a relationship, maybe it's some other life lesson, but that's what I get out of it. Did you like that one?
I did. It's on my list.
Okay.
And I get what you have too, but another way that it kind of goes hand in hand, or it could be a different way of looking at it. But I have people can say and believe whatever they want, but you two, which is the person saying these things about you and you yourself, both of you know the truth. So, like, whatever.
I like the way you said it better.
Well, I mean, I agree with that too, but I'm saying, like, I don't know what kind of relationship this is. I kind of take it as it might be a husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, but either way, there's somebody going out there and saying things that are untrue, but him and the other person both know that they are.
Yeah.
So
You explained it well. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I like that one too. Yeah, that's pretty good.
To me, the best track on this thing is The Working Man.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite, and I think that's the best track. And anytime I see The Working Man, I automatically think of Merle Haggard. And I think about Working Man Blues, and I think about that sort of thing. Even I'll go into it with that on my mind, but it's not really the same thing. Basically, I like this song because he talks about, I like the kind of the melody of it too. But he's saying, and the steel guitar is phenomenal in it. He says you can change the tools, but you can't change the working man. And you can mean that with physical tools, or you can mean that as like the way you're built as a human being. but you can change the tools, but you can't change the working man. And basically, he's saying, when I'm committed to something, I stick with it. I stick with something. If I commit to doing something, I'm going to stick with it until I do it. I'm not flaky. Every lyric in this song is good to me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I originally had that one down too, man, but I was thinking since we were limited to 6, for some reason I had a feeling you'd have that one because it kind of reminded me of 40-Hour Week. Kind of reminded me of Hard Hat and Hammer.
Good comparison to, yes, Hard Hat and Hammer,
and
definitely.
kind of like Working Man's PhD all combined. I was like, I said, bet James.
Those type of songs don't get old to me. I like those songs.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean it is accurate, you know. At the end of the day, a machine ain't got a heart and a soul. You know what I mean?
That's right.
The next one is What You Love, which is one of the best songs on the whole album to me, and it's saying do what you love and let it kill you. And I think that many people go through life not necessarily knowing what it is that they love so much that they would put all their time into. And it kind of got me thinking, you know, like the way that everything works is they want you to go out and get a 40-hour week job and stuff like that to kind of hold you back from some of your dreams. And some people just go after your dreams anyway, even if it means
if you go for broke,
playing for quarters in the pickle jar. Well, there's a couple different lyrics from there that I made sure to note. It's okay to lose, but you play to win, which I struggle with that sometimes because obviously if it's something you're passionate about, you're going to do all you can to win, but sometimes you still don't necessarily do it, and I can dwell on that. So at least I can anyway. And the odds are kind of stacked against you if there's only one winner, and it ain't necessarily going to be you. The other one is don't be afraid to sacrifice for something worthy of your life. You know, that's so deep, man. But even you know, that doesn't necessarily have to be a dream of like your career. I mean, that could be sacrificing something for a family member or a child, a wife.
That's right.
You know, and then this right here was huge too. Falling down ain't just for kids. A life played safe is a life not lived. That's deep, man. You know what I mean?
He's got some magic in his songwriting, man, for sure. Stuff to make you think.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a very slow song, and the music in it, I don't know if you listen to that one or not, but the music in it doesn't necessarily like country music. I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like orchestra type. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think it's the last track on the album.
It is.
Yeah.
It's kind of got like an orchestra background, kind of. But anyway, yeah.
A lot of music does now. So
I love that one. But that background music did catch me off guard with him, though.
Not what you were expecting. Always Running is the last one that I'm going to mention on here. And again, you can take this however you want to, whether it's a relationship or of like a romantic relationship or a family relationship or just maybe a job. Who knows? But whatever he's running from, he's coming back to. You can almost make running a double meaning. Something's not going right. This particular individual in the song gets away from it. He runs away from it. But it's because he needs to gather his thoughts. He's stubborn. He needs to go find his space. He's going to come back. The line about like a soil needs rain. Running away from it's not necessarily running away from the problem or what's going on. It's just some people need to gather their thoughts and get their act together, and then they come right back to where they were because they knew that's where they were supposed to be. So it's kind of like he's running, almost like running away, but actually just running to find a solution to run back to where you were to start with.
Yeah, sure.
So,
yeah, I had that one on my list too, man. I love it. That's one of my favorites on the whole album, and it kind of reminds me. There's actually one by Whiskey Myers called "Running."
Okay.
And it was on. It was 2 albums ago, and they remind me a lot of the same. So next I had "Wasted," and he's basically just giving a description of a guy that just can't get his act together. He's missing out on his life, his family, relationships because he's always wasted. And then toward the end, he realizes like that's no way to live a life, and you can't. It's hard to get back what you've kind of taken from people, over years. And he's trying to work on it. But I think that's a very good song too. And the last one that I have is let's see, we already got I Can't Complain Wasted. That's all of them. So, but anyway, that was a great great album all in all. It was a little different than what I'm used to from Cody, but I enjoyed it. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep. So I definitely try to catch a concert this summer if possible. I went to a couple last year, so if I don't catch one, that'll be all right. But I'm sure he'll be playing some of these in the concert.
Yeah, I finally got to see him with Eric Church, and it was the crowd was into it. I mean, he's easily headline act to go along.
Yeah.
He was opening that show, but he's easily a headline act, obviously.
Yeah,
so he's got and again, another one of those guys. Kind of like, I don't necessarily use this example, but like Casey Musgraves for the longest. Not that their music's anything similar. It's not what I'm saying. But Casey Musgraves, with no radio play whatsoever, just blew up. She's doing her own thing now. But and he's kind of, I mean, he's been at it for a long time, as obviously you know. But just without radio playing it, just he's a huge name.
Yep.
So
yeah.
And I like to see people like that be successful that deserve it, even though the radio's not playing it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, man, and his music is definitely self-written because he talks about some of his times where, not on this album, but in past albums, like where he moved out to L.A. trying to make it there, Nashville trying to make it there. He mentions his wife's name in the songs. Like he's very his music's very personal. Anyway,
yeah, so. As it should be.
Yeah, but anyway, all right, we'll see y'all next time.
Thank y'all for listening.